So I am Nick, developer at Thoughtbot, and today I'm going to talk about sales. And so when I first came to Thoughtbot, I wanted to take part in sales, try sales. I knew that Thoughtbot was a company with a great reputation. We make awesome products, really intelligent people. So I pretty much figured it'd be super easy, and this shit pretty much sells itself. And all I'd really need is a pen for them to sign the checks, and I'd be rolling in money. For anybody else that's tried sales, it's not like that, and it's actually much harder than that. So I actually haven't made a sale yet, but I've learned a lot of things along the way. I've been on a number of sales calls, and I think that I've learned some things that might help other people. So the first thing is, what doesn't work? What doesn't work is just talking about ourselves. I know that we all love the company, and I know that we all are very excited about what we do, but just going up there and just talking about the features and talking about like our process doesn't necessarily, make people buy it. I don't know if any of you seen The Wolf of Wall Street, but there's a scene where he goes up to somebody and says, "Sell me this pen," and he hands somebody a pen. And usually the first thing that people do is they try to talk about all the features of the pen, why the pen's so great. It writes upside down. It can, it has tons of ink, and nobody wants to buy the pen on that. And so features don't sell the product. And talking about, we've got a design sprint, we've got retros, we've got code reviews, all the things that make our code great, that doesn't necessarily sell us because it kind of puts the effort onto the client to figure out why do all these things come together to make us a great solution to fix their problem. So we don't want to do that. What does work? Finding out what the client needs from a dev team and addressing blocking concerns. These are the main things. EJ talked about this yesterday. The client they're not buying an application. They're buying us. And to talk about, the application is important, and to find out what is necessary for the application is really important. But they can get the application from plenty of other people, but they can get Thoughtbot only with us. And so what we need to be doing is not asking, well, what is it that you're trying to build? What solution are you trying to bring to your clients? We need to be talking about what about us can fix your problems, and what do you need from us as a development team? So a couple questions I like to ask are, what do you want a development team, and how do you envision working with us? And you'll get answers like, I want to bring lean methodology, or I want product advice, business advice, all these different things that are specific to us as a development shop that we can speak to our strengths rather than the application itself. Because realistically, we can build pretty much any application that they're coming to us with. And so that's not really a huge selling point for us. To give you a quick story that I once heard that I thought kind of illustrates this really well. A guy walks in, middle-aged guy, you can call him Ralph. He walks into a car dealership, starts looking at a car, he's looking to buy a car. Gets in the car, like honks a horn, whatever. The salesman comes up to him and starts talking to him, sees a middle-aged guy, starts talking about how fast it goes, 350 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Turns out this guy is buying for his son, his teenage son, named Tony. And the guy walks out immediately without any other questions because he wants something that's safe and reliable. If the salesman had instead talked about all the safety features, maybe airbags, flame retardant, it would have been a sale. But that's not what happened. And what we need to do is we need to ask questions, find out what the client really needs from us so that we can speak to those strengths. The other thing is blocking concerns. No matter how much these people want to work with us, there's always a reason for them not to buy from us. And so we need to address these concerns and make sure that we get through those until we can make that sale. And so some common concerns are budget, and that's one that pretty much everyone has heard. We're not the cheapest place in the block. We're expensive, but we're worth it. And we need to make sure that they understand that. And even though they may feel that we're worth it, they may not have the budget to get their full application built. And so one thing that we may be able to do is talk to them about, all right, let's scope it down. Let's say, let's cut out these features, and then we can fit this within your budget within a certain time frame. Another common concern is partner or stakeholder buy-in. It's really important that they get everybody that wants to buy in or is working on the project to be comfortable with working with us. And so sometimes I'll suggest having them come in for a follow-up meeting and getting comfortable with us. These are just some common examples, but making sure that we find all these blocking concerns and address them is the only way for us to proceed forward, even if we've demonstrated our value to them in a relevant way that makes them want to work with us. So where do we go from here? These are some things that help in the process, and I know that there are a lot of people that want to participate in sales but don't really know where to start, and that's kind of where I was. I didn't have a background in sales. I didn't really know where to go, so I just kind of went into it, and I watched what Trace was doing. I try to take things from Trace and apply it to my own sales. But I think it'd be great if, in the same way that we have a style guide and a best practices guide, if we have a ThoughtBot sales guide, something where we learn from and we can add our learnings to, so that other people who want to participate in sales can use it as a framework to work off of. So going forward, I'm probably going to start this up, and anybody who learns anything or wants to use it to improve their sales, I think this would be a great way to work on that. That's it.